Welcome back to part 1 of what if Deku was the crying child, aka what if he had the Five Nights at Freddy's for animatronics. Well, I need you guys to look back in the comments on part 0 because I said there are 3 other people going through the same theme, especially in so Inko is one of them. That is 100% theme. But her version is dead children. And this is Inko. She never really had. How am I going? So, no. I don't. Yes, Inko's quirk is, So, I'm trying to think. Sorry, guys. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to jump right into the video. Oh, I'm just going to have this more as Inko's hidden quirk, like his entire family's curse with his quirk. Except there's only one person who's not related to him that is going through this type of torment. So Sasasi will be going through this torment as well. So, oh, before I get to Deku's point of view, we're going to be with Inko. She's just finishing up her very first animatronic. This one's going to be Spring Bonnie. Inko, I say no. This is her second animatronic, Spring Bonnie. She feels super good about this animatronic. She got like an hour to pick up Izuku. So, oh, and then she started hearing voices saying, "Why? Why do you hurt us? Why do you kill us?" And Inko goes, "Huh? Who's there? Hello? Anyone there?" And she hears the voices again saying, "Why? Why did you hurt us? It was only our birthday that day." And Inko actually no, no, I'm going recon real quick, saying this is not her quirk. Real quick, I'm going to explain what's going on. This is going to be the curse of William Afton, since he died in 19... I don't know, he's been dead for about 102 years, he's fully gone. The Five Nights at Freddy's things has passed, but the curse has re-emerged. This time the children thinking, mistaking Miss Inko for the purple guy. I don't know how the fuck they just did. Okay? With the world of superpowers, anything can happen, alright? Just catch me a break on that part. And Inko says, Who are you? Where are you? We remember everything you did to us." And Inko looks, then she blinks and sees the children, the dead children. I believe I think there's 6. 6 main dead ones. And dead ones that you were able... No, 5 main dead ones. My bad, because I'm pretty sure Going Freddy forced him into the spring lock suit. And Inko was being pushed back to the suit. And she's like, "No, I don't. God damn it." and starts putting on the suit. And Inko says, okay, we probably, I don't know what they want. And spring locks failed. And all you hear is Inko screams, crying, saying, no, 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 no. My son. I can't leave him. And see, so this is what's racing for its mind. What? She's just in so much pain. She's basically just crying. And she has been spring locked. Now, now, this all happened in like 20 minutes. So backwards in time, 20 minutes later, to Deku's point of view. And Deku's sitting there next to these two girls. One with blonde hair and one with green hair. And one of them asked, so, what's the matter with your quirk? I don't know what your name is. Izuku say, huh? Oh, my name is Izuku Midoriya. Then she says, anyways, yeah, so, why are you here? This mostly goes people with having seriously big problems with their quirks. And it doesn't look like you have that big of a problem with your quirk. And Izuku says, oh, it's a worse problem than you think. Then the, what, the, other girl looked over with the blonde hair and said, and, yeah, right, you can't have any worse than me. And Deku asked, anyways, what's your two quirks? Deku saying, the blonde haired girl saying, oh, blood transformation. A blood I drink, I transform into him. And Deku says, oh, that's pretty cool. And asks the green haired girl, what's her quirk? She said, vines. And Deku asks for both of her names, Toga saying her name, and Adra saying her name. And Deku says, it's so nice to meet you both. And then Toga was called in for her appointment. And the person, the accountant comes behind the desk and saying, Miss Toga, are you ready? And Toga says, yes. I say no. Inko would, no. I want to say Inko had to drop him off because he had to go to her job right after she told the nurses, and that's when this is the timing where she died. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is a hero who finds her. I'm not going to tell you which hero yet. This will be at the end of the scene. And give me 1 second. I want the song on my on Spotify real quick. Never mind, I couldn't find it, but well. So yeah, then that leaves Idara, and Idara is asking Deku, so where does your mom work? Right? I see, where do your parents? I see, no. Idara is asking, so what is your quirk like? And Deku says, I don't know if there's a nice one, so I will see if I can get one of them out. Then Nightmare Fredbear comes out saying, "Young man, what do you need me for?" He's saying, "Are you one of the nice ones?" And Nightmare Fredbear says, "Oh, I guess I forgot. We haven't met yet, child. And you're not Chris." And Izuku says, "Who's Chris?" Nightmare Fredbear says, "Another young man who used to be tortured by us. But yes, I'm here to help you survive the night. But apparently we cannot properly hurt you, so well, I think you didn't need me." And he also says, "I can turn to a small little teddy bear, but I need to ask you something. Who's your father?" And Deku says, Sasasi Midoriya." And Nightmare says, Then Idara says, "What the? That's so cool. You're saying he gives you problems." And Deku says, "It's not him who gives me problems. It's the other four. And I don't even know their names. I don't even know his name." And Nightmare Fredbear says, "There's actually a lot more than you think, bucko." And he says, "Well, anyways, I'm Nightmare Fredbear, and may I ask who you are, young lady, and you two young men?" Deku says, "Izuku Midoriya." "Yeah, that's my name." And Idra says, "I'm Idra." Hold on, I need to get her name up real quick. So, her name is Idra Sasaki, and that's what she said. And Fredbear says, "It's nice to meet you too. And I guess I should tell you about the other names, huh, young man?" And Izuku says, "Yeah, I'll be best." And Fredbear says, "Well, I'm Nightmare Fredbear, but you already know that. There's Nightmare, my evil doppelganger. Then there's the Nightmare Puppet or Marionette, but that is very rare to ever see her. Then you got the Plus Trap. He's even rare. A Clean Nightmare Balloon Boy, but he's super rare to see nowadays. But the ones you've been seeing is Nightmare Freddy, Nightmare Chica, and Nightmare Foxy. Almost forgot one, Nightmare Mingle. I haven't seen her for a very, very long time." And Izuku asks, Why are you all so mean to me? And are you really the nice one of the group?" And Nightmare Fredbear says, "Oh, yes and no. At certain times of the night, I will become hostile, and I'm sorry about that. I will lose my temper. And the rest, they don't really like doing it, but they have a hunger for fear. And you're the only one who probably can satisfy it. It's mostly young children they go after. But since we're considered your quirk, you're stuck with us for the rest of your life. I should say, hey, we are sorry for keeping you up at night. But I should let you know, the older you get, the less frequent, the less dangerous as we get because we are hungry for your child. And Deku says, so if I don't show you my fear, then you guys will basically be weakened, right? Fredbear says, yes. And I'm going to say you guys must be asking, what about the, other person? The person who asked Toga to come in. She sees him and just is fucking terrified. She's like, holy shit. That's what the kid has to go through? And she's about ready to say, I'm so sorry to him. And she does. She goes up to him, saying, so, you're part of this young man's quirk, aren't you? And Fredbear says, yes, I'm guessing you're the, person who's going to try helping him. And she says, I'm one of them. But I want to say I'm so sorry, young man. And Deku says, it's fine. And one day I can handle them. And Fredbear says, good child. And anyways, there's your other friend. And he simply laughs as Toga sees him. And she says, what the hell was that? And Deku says, I was Nightmare Fredbear. And Adra is also pretty scared of Deku's abilities. And he was called in. The doctor basically says, Izuku Madara, would you please come in? And Deku walks in and hold on. Okay, I'm good. And the doctor says, so, what's your main problem? And Deku asks, Fredbear, can you please come out? And Fredbear comes out. And Deku also asks Fredbear, can you get everyone else out too? And Fredbear says, yes, but, child, please be warned, they will try to harm you. Remember that. And Izuku says, you guys can't even hurt. I see, you guys do hurt a lot, but yet you can't do physical damage, so I should be fine. And he says, alright, but please be careful with them. And Deku says, I will. And Nightmare Freddy pops out, saying, it's so good to see you, young man. But yet, so fun. And Deku, who says, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. Then Chica comes out saying, ooh, here's a little cupcake. Can I eat him? And Deku says, not real, not real. And Foxy says, arr, look at this weakling. I think I should rip out his eyes. Maybe even his guts. And Chica says, no, we should just eat him right up. He's too adorable. And Freddy says, yes, I think we should tear him limb from limb. And Fredbear says, knock it off. And they look at him and they say, yeah, right. We should keep torturing him, Freddy. Fredbear, my bad. And Deku's saying, Deku says, "You, all of you need to go away. I'm not afraid of you." And Foxy says, "Are you so sure about that? It looks like you're already pissed yourself, child." And Deku says, "Leave me alone." And all of them went back inside him. And the person said, and oh dear God, do you know how long they she asked how long, when have they how long, when did you start developing them? Deku says, "I have them my entire life." And the doctor says, "I'm so sorry." The doctor says, "So you need under your fear of them." And Deku says, "It sounds like it." And she says, "I want you coming around here once a month, as you know, every week. Does that sound okay?" Deku nods his head. And the doctor says, "Every time you come here, I'm going to need you give them all of them to come out. Is that okay, young man?" Deku says, "Yes." And she says, "Good luck, and hopefully you will be better." Deku walks out. I want to say this is about an hour. And Deku goes down, waiting for his mom. Then Aizawa, founds, Aizuku saying, "Young man, are you here? Young man, are you Aizuku Midoriya?" And Deku says, yes I am." And I want to say, Toga was still waiting for her parents. I want to say he was in there for about 30 minutes, so, yeah. Then Deku asks, "Yeah, where's my mom?" Then Aizawa says, "I'm sorry, young man, but she has passed away, unfortunately. And sadly, we couldn't save her in time." Aizuku starts to cry. And Toga asks, "Well, what's the matter?" And Aizawa says, "You should give him some space." And then they got in contact with Sasasi. Sasasi came back right away, and they were there. Sasasi tried to be his best, and I say a couple years has passed, and I'm trying to think, where should I take? You know what? I'm going to have Deku as 0. Yeah, because I said he will be able to control them. Deku still does give them a tiny amount of fear, but Deku has more control over them now. So yeah. One day during class, I should have the time where Bakugo meets the nightmares for the first time. So, after, I want to say a couple of days, is Deku finally... Actually, no, not a couple of days. After, like, this all happened around 2-3 days, so... After a day, Deku went back to school. Bakugo was picking on someone, and Deku says, "Stop that, Kanchan." And Bakugo says, "Wow, you're alive. Man, I was really expecting you would have move or something, Deku. So, tell me, do you have a quirk?" And Deku says, "Yes, I do. And you'll see it soon if you don't leave her alone. I mean, hit them alone." Because Deku already met his ship. I'm not going to confirm it's Toga or Idra, so I'm still kind of thinking of it. And Deku, who says, as of this, as I might have been caught, doesn't mean you should pick on people. And Bakugo says, I didn't just don't pick on people anymore. I'm king of the school, and you can't do anything about it. Then Deku says, "Fredbear." And Fredbear comes out saying, "Yes, Izuku. Can you help me? Tell him to stop picking on people." And and oh, and Fredbear says, "I got just a story for you." And Fredbear asks Deku what's his name. And Deku says, "Bakugo, but I call him Kanchan." And Fredbear says, "Alright, so Kanchan or Bakugo, I'm going to tell you a story about two brothers. This brother picked on all the time." And Bakugo says, "Yeah, so?" And Fredbear says, "Quiet, let me tell you the story." On his 9th birthday, his older brother wouldn't stop picking on him. And you wanna know what happened next on his birthday? And Bakugo says, "No, not really, this sounds very boring." And Fredbear says, "Too bad. Here's the ending." His elder brother said this. His older brother put him inside the animatronic mouth, and soon as the animatronic tried to close its mouth, his frontal lobe was bent right off. It was the most glorious thing. Bits of brains was in the animatronic's mouth, blood everywhere. And the worst of all, he died after 24 hours of missing his frontal lobe. And Deku, Bakugo says, "Holy," and then, no, he said, "Sorry, what's the matter?" Actually, no. Oh, then Fredbear says, "You should be stop picking on other people." Right. So time to for the high school thing. Middle school thing. Basically, everything went to canon. Teacher throwing up the papers. I'm literally skipping this part. So, for this, actually, no, I'm not going to skip this part. Actually, no. Deku is being laughed off at and saying your quirk is so vicious because your monsters are, is like being like so scary. Even Fred, actually no. Then Deku says Foxy come out, and Foxy comes out saying, "You earned my respect, young Midoriya. So I will help you in this matter." And he says, "All of you knocked it off, and you should see yeah, what happened to the last person who was being bullied. It was so bloody." And with Foxy's hook, and he started going his animatronic saying, "You all kids who come hang out in Park Cove, and I will rip out all of your guts." And the kids are, started freaking out. And the teacher says, "Midoriya, please put him back." And Deku says, "Foxy, you can stay out, but go in your plushie form, please." And he said, "Okay." And he turns into the plushie. And Deku sat him up on his shoulder like a parrot. And the teacher says, "At least he listens to you." And Izuku says, "Yeah, I said we go anyways." I want to say, hey, Toga does go to the same middle school. They just haven't come across each other for a long time. I feel like I have to sneeze, but I ain't coming. But he does know about Ira going to the same school. He meets, he goes to Ira's classroom waiting for her. And when the class bell rings, Ira, uh, sees, Izuku says, "Oh dear God, you scared me." And Deku says, "Sorry, I thought you were more scared of this little guy." And she sees Foxy and she says, "Really? You got Foxy out?" Uh, Foxy's like only the second, is one of the only ones who listen to me. Chica will listen to me if I give her pizza, so, um, but we made agreements. Every time me and my dad get pizza, she gets a slice. Is that right, Chica? Chica crawls out in her policy form saying, "Yes, and thank you for the other slice of pizza you got." And Deku says, "No problem, Chica." And Idara asks, "What about Freddy?" And Deku says, as, Idara says, "What about Freddy?" And Deku says, "Oh, Freddy, I don't even know. He's just being a pain in the ass." And Idara says, "Language." And Deku says, "Yeah, they rub off pretty bad." And Deku says, "Yes." Idara saying, "You, you're true." Um, I'm trying to think. Um, I want to say, hey, Deku just start, as he, after he was done talking to Adira, he says, "Bye. It's time for me to start heading home anyways." And she says, "Okay, good luck." Hopefully I see you 1A. And Deku says, yeah, you too. Then he bumps into the blonde haired girl. He says, I'm so sorry, miss. And Toga says, wait, Izuku? You go here? And they say, yes. And Toga says, wow, I never noticed you guys going here. And Deku says, well, we probably never came across each other, so yeah, how have your quirk counseling been going? And Toga says, I don't need no more. And thank goodness, I'm starting to get on my nerves. And so, Deku asks Toga, are you going to try for UA? And Toga says, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe. It really does depends. And Toga says, oh, who's that little guy? And Foxy says, hey, kid, don't put me down. Put me back on Izuku's, shoulder. And he screams and lets him go promptly. And Foxy transforms, saying, ow, that hurts. And Deku says, he said, you're animatronic, I thought you can't feel anything. And he simply says, says, um, says, Foxy says, good point, but still. Then, Bonnie comes out. Actually, no. Bonnie comes out saying, hello, everyone. And he says, wow. Oh. This is not very interesting. And he wins. He says, Foxy is the one smart one, so he says, wow, you two looks, might be funny. And, and Bonnie gets out invisible, and he gives, give me a second. And Toga lands on him, and like, wow. Oh, this is, and he realized, Bonnie, really? And he goes back and says, this, wow, this is so weird. And I'm going to leave it off here. I'll cover Vasla's villain episode in part 2, more than likely. Have a good one, everyone. Oh, real quick, before I leave, I'm going to, give you, options real quick. Do you want a Deku with the Plague Ink powers from the video game Plague Ink? Or you want Deku being Red Dead Redemption? So, you guys get to choose that one. And if you want me to continue this, I'm sorry this might have been one of my not better. I feel like I did a lot better on part 0. Anyways, if you like, thank you. If you sub, thank you. Um, if you dislike, let me reason know why. Goodbye, everyone.